Good evening, everybody, and welcome to KB Terrace Talk. And we are the Sunday service, which is all about every league. We talk about every different game that's happened over the past week and so on and so forth. Tonight, I have got three fantastic pundits on with me. One whose camera has just dropped down, but I'm sure he'll pop his face back up very, very shortly. So next to me at the top, even though they did lose their game against their local rivals this weekend, I've got Mark with me. How are we doing, Mark?
Yeah, been better, but it's what it is. I'm sure we'll get to the championship in due course, and
Absolutely, mate, absolutely, and looking forward to it as well. Directly underneath me, and I mean directly, straight from the holiday park, it is Tom. How are we doing, Tom?
Really good, lads. I hope you're all okay. Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
I look forward to a good show.
Absolutely. And we've got another pundit on tonight. His camera's gone down, but hopefully you can hear him well on the microphone. We should get him back up very, very shortly. It's a new guy to the mix. He's also a Rotherham fan, so a League One man himself, and his name is Ben. How are we doing, Ben?
I'm very well, thank you. It works better with the camera off, but very sad about the postponement today. We did lose, but we know it's that's football. But yeah, I'm very good.
At least you didn't lose, mate. At least you didn't lose. A postponement is better than a loss. Especially how Rotherham United are going at the minute. But we'll see. We'll get on to League One and we'll have a chat about Rotherham United in due course. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview for anybody that's new to the show. We have a bit of a chat about all the leagues. We talk about all the games that have happened, any fan reaction, anything that's really, really interesting with the leagues. The show lasts for about an hour or so. So buckle yourselves in, get nice and comfy as we jump straight in. You will also notice at the top of the show, we have a brand new intro video. Again, we would love your feedback on that intro video. Let us know what you think to that. We might be adapting it a little bit more. 2026 is going to be the big year for KB and for KB Terrace Talk, and we've got lots of action coming to you. For tonight, though, let's get straight into the action, straight into the talking, and we're going to look straight at the Premier League. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the top half of the table on, as usual, and we'll have a bit of a chat about that. But I do want to talk about a few of the games, because obviously it's been a couple of weeks, guys, since we were last. Well, not a couple of weeks. It's been a week since we've been last here, but there were matches happening on the Monday and the Tuesday after the Sunday show from last week. So I want to just highlight a few of those games. So that's how the table looks today. I believe I've updated it. Yes, I have updated it there. I was just double checking. I've updated it since the match that's just happened between Man City and Chelsea. So we can essentially go all the way back to the 28th. I believe we spoke about the Sunderland-Leeds game being a 1-1 draw there. Again, Leeds, what I'm calling at the minute, Leeds in the Prem are the point stealer. They're taking good points away from the top six and some big teams that are up in that top 10 of the Premier League. We had Crystal Palace and Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham won 1-0 on that game as well. Then on the 30th, we had numerous games, and again on New Year's Day, we had a few games as well. So it was West Ham 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. I know our Dan, Brighton fan Dan, wasn't too pleased with that game, although being away, you kind of got to expect it. But West Ham on the back foot at the minute. Nottingham Forest 0, Everton 2. Absolutely spanked at home. Not a good game for us in the slightest. And again, we played again this weekend, and again, a very bad performance from us. I'm hoping tide is going to turn in 2026, though, very, very quickly for us. Burnley won, Newcastle 3. A fantastic away win for Newcastle there. 3 goals against Burnley. Absolutely brilliant there. Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2. What's going off with Bournemouth? We'll have a chat possibly about Bournemouth. They're another one that at the minute just seems to be nabbing at those points and getting those points, which is really vital for them. Manchester United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. We'll have a chat about Man United because that's an interesting draw for them. Arsenal 4, Aston Villa 1. Nice and simply, they said to Aston Villa, "You're sitting in this top 3. We're going to show you what it's like to be in the top 3," and they taught them. Then on January the 1st, we had Liverpool 0, Leeds United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 1, Brentford 0, Tottenham 0, Sunderland 0, Manchester City 0. A very, very boring New Year's Day matches there in terms of entertainment-wise. Then yesterday, so we're up to date now. So yesterday we had Aston Villa 3, Nottingham Forest 1. We went to Villa Park, and again we got spanked, and there's no excuses for it. The shock of the weekend: Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, West Ham United 0. Again, we're going to have a bit of a chat about that, especially how West Ham are performing at the minute. Brighton 2, Burnley 0, and it was Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 3. Arsenal getting a winner at the end of that game there to beat Bournemouth. Then today we've had Leeds United versus Man United. Now, if anybody has been watching KB Terrace Talk over the past week, you know that yesterday a video, a recording went out. It was recorded actually yesterday, but it went out yesterday a little bit later on of a battle between Birchie and Bushy. It was an absolutely fantastic and an honour to referee that battle. But both of them were strong battlers in regards to who's got the better team there. And unfortunately, it ended in a pretty dismal game and a bit of a boring 1-1 draw, to be fair. Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1. Again, another nice point there, snapped by Sunderland. Newcastle winning at home again. That's 2 on the bounce for them. Newcastle 2, Crystal Palace 0. Everton 2, Brentford 4. An absolute thrashing there, and Thiago slotting 2 home for Brentford. Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. Liverpool, late goal there by Cody Gakpo. 94th minute. Lucky, really. Fulham should have had that nailed in the bag. And then we just had Manchester City versus Chelsea. Man City were winning in the first half from a Reinders goal. And then again, 94th minute, Enzo Fernandez scored for Chelsea. So bringing that to a draw. Doing Arsenal a very good favour. So what do we think then, boys? Lots of games have happened and everything. Looking at that table, sitting pretty at the top there.
Yeah.
Arsenal, it showed the last 5 games have all been wins. Obviously, we know that they've been winning more than that. Nice 48 points. A lovely, lovely lead there of 6 points, basically, over Man City. Where do we see? Do we see this going Arsenal's way this season, boys, or is it a complete and utter false pretenses, and they're going to bottle it later on?
Well, it's Arsenal's to lose, and as I've seen in the past couple of seasons, they tend to do bottle it. But I think this season they've got the right players, they've got the right intensity to go on and win the title. I don't see them bottling it. Yeah,
I mean, I've got a lot of Arsenal friends. We've got Mers, who's on tonight, watching tonight. Hello, Mers. Hope you're well, mate. And I'm saying the same to them. I mean, Mers is being very on the fence about it all and whatnot, but I don't know. There's just something. I mean, Arsenal got nowhere to hide. They've got fantastic players. They've got a great squad. They've got a good manager who's got to prove himself this season. Straight down the middle. He's got everything that he needs. He's got everything he wants. Needs to prove himself. So it is Arsenal's to lose. But yeah, Man City are there chomping at their heels. I know they've had 2 draws on the bounce, but you know what Man City are like, false pretenses and all that lot.
I don't think if Arsenal fail to lose it, it will be a bottle. It is only 6 points. We've got midweek games in the Premier League. We've got the FA Cup the following weekend, and then we're back into it. So in 2 weeks' time, things could have gone a little bit awry for Arsenal, and they could be level on points with City or Villa, or they could be within, the 2 teams could be in touch distance with Arsenal. Still a long way to go. They are grinding the wins out. 3-2 against Bournemouth last night. The Villa game shocked me. I thought Villa would give them a much harder game, and it was easy for them. It was so easy for Arsenal. They was, playing with freedom, and they looked good doing it. But we'll see. Man City dropping points again to Chelsea. I had the game on. I wasn't paying masses of attention to it, but it did seem like City were being quite wasteful, which when you've got Haaland in your team, that is something of a surprise. But,
yeah, no, absolutely, mate, absolutely. I mean, Arsenal's their player, isn't he? He's there. I talk to Carl now and again about Man City, and Carl, a lot of the other Premier League guys are under the impression that Haaland, it's play it into Haaland, and I almost feel that with that game it was wasted opportunity after wasted opportunity.
Yeah. I think, but never rule out Man City because they've got such depth, and they have proven time and time and time again. Gets to about this point in the season, and they just go on a mad run. And with the exception of last season when Liverpool won it, and the COVID season, which is a bit of an anomaly in itself, they've ended up running away with it, and nobody can touch them. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more competitive this season for the neutrals.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you look at that table. I mean, Aston Villa sat in third there, doing pretty well. Same points. In fact, if you look at it, exactly the same amount of wins, draws, and losses as Man City. So literally pegging level with Man City there. So that's quite an interesting one in terms of those two. Do we think the race is over then for everyone from fourth downwards? Do we,
I can't see anyone troubling the top three. There's a big old gap of 8 between Liverpool and Villa and City.
Yeah,
and Liverpool threw it away again. They just can't. They just don't look convincing, do they? They've got 3 wins out of the last 5, but it just never looks comfortable for them, does it?
No. I mean, looking at that table, then really, it's a battle. It's a battle for Europe, isn't it? That's the top 3 are the top 3. They're going to obviously get Champions League and whatnot, but then 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th with the conference. It's a bit of a battle for top 7, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Tom, what's your thoughts on Man United at the minute?
They're doing better than what they did last season, Phil. I mean, the drawing games they should probably look to win. I mean, they've drawn with Leeds today, haven't they?
Yeah, 1-1. Bit of a
I don't
boring
know.
game.
I've just got no faith in any striker they've got, to be honest with you. I think obviously they've signed Cunha and Mbeumo. Granted, Mbeumo's away at the minute, isn't he? And Fernandez is out injured, who's their go-to guy. Yeah. I think when you look at that last 5, drawn, lost, won, drawn. It's bang average, isn't it? It's bang average. And look, they finished, what did they finish last season? 15th? It was
16th.
16th, was it?
16th, yeah. Tottenham was 17th, they were 16th, yeah.
Right, okay. So, I mean, look, as a neutral here, you look at that is, if you like, progression, but it's not the progression of the standards of Manchester United, is it? I mean, it's Manchester United, they want to be in and around that top 4 minimum. But it's going to take time. I mean, look, Chelsea have not done great this season. And Chelsea, they've got a lot of players. They've not got a manager at the minute. I believe Rossini is the top man to go there from Strasbourg, which I think is a fantastic manager. I mean, Phill, you might disagree, but I thought what he did at Derby was really good. He helped Wayne Rooney through all those difficult period, and I was very surprised that Derby parted company with him for Paul 1. Don't get me wrong, Paul 1 got them promoted. So Chelsea, basket case. Liverpool, we can probably safely say now that they're not in the running. It's between the top 3, and I'm still going to lean towards Manchester City, but it's Arsenal's to lose. And I think the shock of the season for me is, well, there's 2 teams for me. I think it's Brentford and Sunderland. Sunderland have drawn the last 4 games, though, but they're unbeaten. So if you can't win,
you look at the 4 games. Look at the 4 games, though. I mean, they're not your low end games. There's some tough games that they've had, and they've acted like Leeds. They're the point stealer. They're taking points away from the bigger teams.
Well,
which is
if you'd have offered any Sunderland fan this season, and I know a few, to stay in the Premier League, they'd bite your hand off. Never mind being 8th after more than half the season gone. Brentford, they've really surprised me. I mean, I thought they would drop. But no, look, they're doing bits. Lost players, they're doing bits. Newcastle are starting to come back a little bit. Brighton, they needed that result. But, I mean, all in all, I think the top 3, I agree, is the top 3 in any which order. I would favour Man City, even though it is 6 points. But as Mark quite correctly said, a lot of games to come, and it could be...
Yeah. I know.
Whoever.
I was chatting with Mers earlier, who's our resident Arsenal fan, and he said he's holding his lip, he's holding his breath until April. I think the back end of April they've got Man City and Newcastle, one after the next. So I think he's kind of waiting for that game weekend to see where those results lie, which will then give him a good idea of, pretty much where they're going to end the season. There's still a lot of time to go, especially for that top half of the table there, and also a few of the guys from the bottom half of the table, which is here, to be gaining vital points. I mean, you've got Fulham there. They've shot up a little bit now. 3 wins and 2 draws, getting their draw against Liverpool today. Again, home draw as well at Craven Cottage, which would have been nice for them. Everton sitting there in 12th. Again, bang average, really. And I'm looking at everybody there from 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and definitely Forest in 17th, all just bang average or just a little bit below average. My personal big surprise in there, I don't know about anybody else, is actually Crystal Palace. I thought they were going to do so much better this season. Reaching on the performances of last season, and now looking where they're at and looking at their last 5 games, 4 losses and a draw, it's a bit worrying for Crystal Palace, I think, really.
It is, and the form over the last 5 games is poor, but with how congested it is in that sort of mid-table bit, they're 3 points off 7th. Yeah. So you just need one result to go your way and you shoot straight back up the table. Yeah. I wouldn't be worried about anyone from Palace upwards. So they'll be fine. Spurs will not be happy being down there, and they're really not pleased with Frank, or the fans aren't, certainly, and they want him gone. Again, a bit like, people calling for Slot's head. I think that's ridiculous. Give him a chance, because it's better than last season. All right, okay, last season they sort of got away with it and won a trophy, but give him time. Your bottom 6 are the ones I worry about, because the wins aren't coming. Bournemouth, I don't remember the last time they won. It's been that long. Looking back here, it was against Forest, and they won 2-0.
Yeah.
Leeds are grinding out points, and a bit like Sunderland, they keep drawing. Well, if they keep drawing with 18 games to go, they'll finish on 40 points. That'll be enough, as the old saying goes. 40 points keeps you up. Wolves and West Ham. We've all been saying we think that Wolves might break Derby's points record. Well, maybe they won't now. That was a very good win for them, but it means nothing. They're still 12 points off safety.
Yeah.
And I have to ask you, Phil, what was John Victor doing for the third goal?
Not a clue. Not an absolute. So I was out at work. So when that game was going off, I was out at work. I saw the first 25 minutes on my phone whilst I was sat in the van traveling to the next job. I was not impressed in the slightest. And then I watched the game when I got back, basically. And I mean, I know Matt Sells hasn't been match fit, and I know that's why Dyche has actually benched him and not been playing him. Give him Johns a chance. On that performance, I would say it's definitely the bungle of the season. It's probably the bungle in the last 5 years, or the worst one I've seen for a long time. You've got 3 defenders there, and your goalkeeper decides to come out and attack a ball when you've got 3 defenders in front of you. Bizarre. I don't know whether he just wanted to get off that field and not be made responsible for the 3-1 loss or what.
Well, I've never seen a player substituted due to an injury to Pride before, but that's clearly what it looked like.
It was completely Pride, yeah.
He didn't touch anyone, man, ball, or anything else.
No.
All of a sudden, my knee feels a bit, I don't think I can continue. No, yeah. We're going into hiding, my friend.
No. I've done a bit of digging in my usual resources, and there's nothing that states anywhere that he's got any sort of twinge injury or whatever it might be. I can only put that down to Pride. I am concerned about Forest, but I stand by Dyche. I do think he's the right man to keep us up. I don't think he's the right man long term, not in the slightest, but I think he's the right man for us and for our squad this season. I do think we will survive. The crucial game coming up against West Ham on Tuesday. So as long as we go into that fully aware that 3 points is 3 points and there's no other attribute to it, then that will make me happy. If we come out of that with a loss or a draw, heads are going to turn.
It's a must not lose for you, Phil. Basically,
it is a must not.
Must not lose. A win. If you win that's them 3 relegated. For me. But if you draw it against West Ham, we've just lost. Was it 3-0? 3-0 to Wolves.
Yeah, they lost 3-0 to Wolves. Their manager, Nuno, is hanging by a thread, although he is being given the opportunity to bring new players in, which I think's counteractive a little bit, especially if they're thinking, Nuno's time's up. We need to make somebody else make these decisions.
But your chairman, Phil, though, Marinakis, is he not looking at Dyche after 4 straight defeats?
No, there's a lot going off in and around Forest at the minute in regards to the signings that we made in the summer, who was responsible for those signings, and the outcomes, what we've received from those signings at the minute. Now, I'm not blaming anybody. But there is one particular person that's not solely responsible for the signings. He has a say on them, naturally. That's responsible, has a level of responsibility for those signings. And under his tenure, we're now looking at 3 of those signings that he brought on at actually either selling or loaning out.
Is that Edu, Phil?
It is the gentleman that left Arsenal, that was prized from Arsenal's grasp quite easily. It was almost like Arsenal went, yeah, you can have him. And now I'm looking at it going, why did such a big club like Arsenal decide to do that? And now all of a sudden Arsenal are sat first in the Premier League quite comfortably. They made some fantastic signings in the summer. And I'm sat there going, okay, Arsenal made some fantastic signings in the summer. We then take their guy that's off them, that's not responsible but has a say in those signings. He comes to Forest after those, prior to those signings being made, comes to Forest, and within 5 or 6 months, we're selling or loaning out players that we've literally just bought.
So Edu then, yeah, Edu.
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah, he's the one.
Yeah, it doesn't fill you with confidence as a fan when you sign somebody and then 6 months later hoy him out the door. But I think Forest will be fine. I've seen enough of Forest, I should say, compared to West Ham, Burnley, and Wolves, that they will trip and stumble over the line to safety. The other three gone. Don't see anything.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if that does happen, obviously, I think it will be over the summer. Duly departed Sean Dyche and bring in somebody who is ready, who is ready and raring to go and knows how to deal with a team like Forest. But yeah, I think we'll be fine. And I'm going off that season that we had 2 seasons ago, where we'll stay up because there's 3 worse teams in the league than us. And that's where we currently sat. We've got 3 worse teams in the league than us. Simple as. So that's the Premier League. I just want to go through some of the comments. We've had quite a few comments coming in tonight. We've got lots of viewers on. So again, guys, if you're watching on X, YouTube, or Facebook, please make sure that you are sticking your comments in, letting us know what is happening tonight. Let us know about your teams. Are you happy with the performances of your teams over the weekend? So we've got John Sullivan in tonight. Likes the intro. Now this is an intro. Evening, Mark. Happy New Year. Crap result lately. Hope you are well. Hello, Tom. Hello, Ben. And obviously, hello to me too. Thank you, John. Hope you're well, mate. Happy that Toon are climbing, which I know you're very, very happy about, being a 2-team wanker. We've got Mers in as well tonight. Mers is saying evening, guys. Everybody being really, really nice and saying evening to us. John's chatting away. Fulham serving up some justice on the late goals. Unfortunately, Liverpool got that late equaliser, which is a bit upsetting for Fulham. I thought Fulham was going to do that. Chelsea game was lame. Should have painted my face and watched it dry instead in the freezing cold postponed grass of Rotherham. So obviously the Rotherham game was also postponed this weekend. Tom looks like he's about to go for a run. And then Mers is saying, I think Tom looks more like he's about to go out and perform a hit on someone. And I think the general person that we would like to go out and hit on is Matt Hamshaw. Toon will slap Arsenal, back the boys. So John and Mers having a bit of a set 2 based on that as well. And Arsenal said Forest are doing us a favour here. So Arsenal said Forest are doing us a favour here. Ha, ha, ha. Lovely jubbly. So lots of comments coming in. Anybody else that's watching, please make sure you stick your comments in about your teams and let us know what you're thinking and how your team have done this weekend. So we're going to go straight on to the Championship now. And look at that table right there. The only problem that we've got, and I've purposely done it for you, Mark, is I've just hidden your 5 games, last 5 games on behind that clock there. But we'll clearly go through them. Sat nice and pretty up at the top there after 26 games with a massive 52 points. That is a 6-point lead over second place, which is Middlesbrough, is Coventry City. Ipswich in third, closely behind with Preston, Millwall, Watford, Hull and Stoke and Wrexham all chomping at the bit there. Bristol down in 10th with 39 points, QPR 38 and Derby sat there at the bottom of the top half of the table in 12th place. I have to say Derby are bottom just to make myself feel better every time I say the word Derby. So let's have a quick look at a few of those games and some of those games that have happened. So we're going to go back to the 1st of January. Some fantastic games happened on the 1st of January when Blackburn 0, Wrexham 2. Wrexham slapping 2 goals home away at Blackburn Rovers. Bristol City 5, Portsmouth 0. Absolutely spanking of Portsmouth there. Charlton 1, Coventry 1. So that was a draw that you got on New Year's Day there, Mark. Derby County 1, Middlesbrough 0. So again, I think that's what's pushed Derby up into the bottom of the top half of the table. Hull 0, Stoke 1. Ipswich 2, Oxford United 1. 3-0 thrashing by Preston North End at home against Sheffield Wednesday. QPR 1, Norwich City 2. Southampton 0, Millwall 0. Swansea 1, West Brom 0. Watford 3. I'm just letting you know this, Mark. Watford beat Birmingham 3-0 on New Year's Day.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Sheffield United 3, Leicester City 1. Big game there, big win there for Sheffield United. And then today, we had Birmingham City 3, Coventry City 2. We'll come on to you very, very shortly, Mark, about that. QPR 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0. So I think if it wasn't before, the nail is definitely in the coffin for Sheffield Wednesday. The Sheffield United and Oxford game was postponed due to a frozen pitch. Blackburn Rovers 2, Charlton Athletic 2. We had Bristol City 0, Preston North End 2. Derby County losing 2-1 to Wrexham at home at Pride Park. Hull City and Watford game that was postponed due to a frozen pitch. Middlesbrough 4, Southampton 0. So Middlesbrough putting that pressure in the top half of the table. Millwall 2, Swansea City 1. Norwich City 0, Stoke City 2. And the game between Portsmouth and Ipswich Town was also postponed due to a frozen pitch. The Championship's next game will be tomorrow, which is Leicester City versus West Bromwich Albion. Interesting Championship over the last few days. Straight over to you, Mark. Okay, yes, you're sitting pretty still, 6th. But last few games, they've not been bang.
We're knackered at this point. We are really struggling since. I don't think it's got anything to do with, because this all started with the 3-0 away at Ipswich, which wasn't a 3-0 game. The home game where we lost to Ipswich on the Monday after we last had a Sunday service, that was only a 2-0 loss. That should have been about 5-0 because we were dreadful. Utterly dreadful. If we look at the Charlton game, ahead after 3 minutes, brilliant, fantastic start, and then sat back for the rest of the game. And Charlton were piling on the pressure. We all knew this is going to go one way. It's going to go one way, and lo and behold, Charlton equalised. Admittedly, a mistake from Miguel Brau, who was having his first league start of the season, on that showing. No, I tell a lie. He started against Ipswich, played poorly and was dropped. He came on for the injured Kane Kessler-Hayden and made the mistake, and I don't think we'll be seeing him again anytime soon. Today's result, I said to Phill before we started, I've never been more angry at a result because we looked better. We looked a bit like our old selves. And we faced 3 shots and conceded 3 goals. All 3 were individual errors as well, which just makes it that little bit more painful. Should have had 2 penalties. Had a goal ruled out for a phantom push from Bobby Thomas. Bobby Thomas then goes and gets himself sent off for swinging an arm at a Birmingham defender. Now, don't get me wrong, we'd all like to punch a Brummie, but he missed. He got caught, and he's now on a 3-game ban. So brilliant. Well done, Bobby. I am concerned. I've never thought that we were going to run away with it because I've supported this team for far too long, and I've seen this story before. If all the squad stayed as they are, I think we would squeak into second. And I think Ipswich will overtake us. We need bodies through the door. We lost Jamie Allen to a family bereavement today, so thoughts out to him and his closest. We're so threadbare. We look at the bench today, and there's not a lot there of established first teamers. Haji Wright, not scored in 12. Luke Wolfenden, defender. Joel Atabodiere, defender, arguably not really good enough if you want to be at top end of the championship. Jake Bidwell, again, defender, not what we need at the moment. We've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Torp's been injured again, or poorly. We're not really entirely sure what's gone on with him, but we need bodies through the door. There's talk of Robin Esser coming in from Palace on loan. Okay, I've not seen much of him, but we'll see what happens. But we need a hell of a lot more than one winger. You know, it's looking very sketchy. And thank God for the FA Cup next week. Put the kids out and let everybody else have a rest because we need it. We are absolutely shattered.
Who have you got in the cup?
We're Stoke away.
Stoke away.
So if even losing that, there's no great shame in losing to another championship club because Stoke will make changes because Stoke will want to get themselves back in the playoffs, if not higher. But yeah, it's been tough watching, really, really tough.
We've had a comment in from John. So he said, Mark, I heard some fans were unhappy with the Birmingham manager. Not sure who it is, but could you see a change?
Chris Davies. Well, it wouldn't have surprised me because Birmingham had not won in 7. And they've spent a lot of money. But not. If he was sacked, I wouldn't be massively surprised. But again, I am of the opinion that you give these managers a chance. Now, if Birmingham are as ambitious as their owners seem to be, there is probably going to come a point where they want to get some sort of name in. They went for Rooney and it didn't work. It worked very badly. But are they going to go for somebody a bit more experienced at the higher levels? I don't think Chris Davies has been this high as a manager in his career.
I'm always surprised. I'm always really surprised when you see particularly championship managers. And actually, when you do a bit of digging on them and you say to yourself, Jesus, that's their biggest club or biggest league that they've ever performed in, you're one step away from the Premier League. Is that a little bit of a step too far for a manager that's never really done Championship before?
Well, I mean, there's arguments for and against because you've got to start somewhere, and if you are a manager of a championship club, realistically, the only way you're going to get yourself into, managing in the Premier League is if you take your team up. Now, I've said it before. This was Lampard's last chance. If he doesn't get us up, that will be it as a manager because he's not done it at Chelsea, not done it at Everton, not done it at us. Didn't get it done at Derby. But no, like I say, it's so difficult, and I'm pleased for Kieran McKenna's sake that he took Ipswich from League One to the Championship, straight up to the Premier League. They had a poor Premier League season. There's no hiding that. And the board have gone, no, you're the right man for us. We like what you're doing. Go again. And after a shaky start, it's paying off. They're third. They've got a game in hand now because the game at Portsmouth was postponed.
And yeah.
Really irritated me. I'd just rather know that Ipswich have won it. And okay, the gap is even smaller. But yeah.
On John's point, I've just been thinking there.
Careful.
Careful.
There's a lot of people wanting Robbie Savage. Robbie Savage is a bit of a Birmingham legend, was he not?
Yeah, he's very well thought of at Birmingham. He didn't leave in the best circumstances. But
right, well, there you go. So I mean, looking at that league, Mark, and I just want to put you at ease here. I think you'll be absolutely fine. I think top 2 is your aim. You don't care as a Coventry City fan. Finish first or second. I'm certain of that.
Absolutely not. No.
But what I will say is that the January transfer window is now open, and Hollywood FC are in 9th, having won their last 4 games on the trot. They are currently 1 point out of the playoffs and 6 points off automatic. What do you think Mr. Reynolds and Mr. McElhenney will be looking at this moment?
They will want to be in at least the playoffs. If you've watched Welcome to Wrexham, the end of the last...
I haven't.
Do you know what? I quite enjoy it. It's not terrible at all. And they are both very likeable people, I think.
I agree. I agree with that.
And they've done back to back to back. I think in the last episode, when they get promotion, they finish second. No one's ever done back to back to back. They want to do back to back to back to back. So yeah, and they've made no secret that they want to take Wrexham to the Premier League.
I mean, they're heading in the right direction. I mean, the next game is on Friday against Forest in the FA Cup. And then they've got the following Saturday, they've got Norwich at home.
Wow.
So they've got 3 games at home on the bounce. They've got us on Friday. They've got they've got Norwich the following Saturday. And then on the Tuesday, they've got Leicester City. So they've got 3 home games on the bounce. They beat Norwich. They beat Leicester. You know, that's it. That's going to sit them up there, isn't it?
Well, do they get the money out in January and say, right, here we go, this is the big push?
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Would not.
Yeah,
Apparently, I've read that they are going, because Bamford only signed a short-term deal at Sheffield United until January. That's now apparently expired, and they want to bring him in. Now, that would be a very good signing for them. But yeah, you can't deny it. If you look over the last 5 games in terms of form, they're second, a point behind Watford. Over the last 10 games of form, they're fourth, behind Sheffield United, Watford and Ipswich. Incidentally, over the last 5 games, our form, 19th.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But no, Watford are steaming up there. Like their lives depend on it. They look pretty set to be in there. I mean, we say every week that the championship is so tight. I wouldn't be remotely surprised if you get to the last weekend of the season and you still have 5 or 6 teams fighting for maybe the last 2 spots. It really wouldn't surprise me at all.
I agree. I agree, Mark. I agree. And I wouldn't be surprised if Watford lost the next 2 and sacked the manager. So
the problem is football's such a fickle business, and when you are battling in something like the Championship, where you're fighting the second half of the table to sit in that playoffs, and you know you might be in that playoffs for so long, and then you have a couple of games bad and drop out. All of a sudden, questions are asked massively. You don't get that in the Prem. You don't get that in any other league. The Championship is one of those where you could be sat in 4th for months and months on end, you have 2 bad games, you drop out and go down to 10th or something like that, questions are very quickly asked of the manager.
Well,
and that's and no offense to Coventry or anything, but that's my kind of little bit of a worry, because it has dropped off a little bit for Coventry. Yes, they're still sitting pretty, but you're starting to lose games now.
Yes. And the thing I would say to that is that because we have Lampard as manager, there is a bigger magnifying glass over us. And up to December, up to that first Ipswich game, everybody is looking at, oh my God, look at how many goals they're scoring. Look how far ahead they are. Look at their goal difference compared to everyone else. They're going to walk it. People are only seeing the highlights. Whereas if you speak to Coventry fans, certainly since that Ipswich game, a lot of it has been really, really poor. And every team is going to have a bad stretch in a season. If you're Sheffield Wednesday, you're just going to have a bad season because you've been mismanaged by a moron. Thank God he's gone. But if our bad spell is now, as we approach the January transfer window, a lot of fans are thinking, is this going to make Doug King realise we need more bodies through the door, put his hand in his pocket and get some players in?
Who knows, mate? Who knows?
Well, exactly.
Mark, you're as well gambling, Mark, because you get that prize, right, of £170 million. You might as well think, do you know what, sod it, let's secure that prize with 20 million quid in January. Just my opinion. But
yeah, I mean, I would. It's difficult because we've obviously had our financial issues in the past. I think that's not going to happen again. But Doug King is very shrewd with his money. He's not tight. If it's there, he'll spend it. But just worry about who we bring in. And I always think back to the 15-16 season where, sitting pretty at the top of League One, Mowbray was in charge. He bought in a variety of random players. Marc-Antoine Fortuné, Martin Loretson, Peter Ramage, and Darius Henderson. That was a cracker. And it just all fell apart. And I think we finished 8th. Nowhere near the playoffs because the teams above us had sealed that. Following season, massive turnover in the squad, relegated to League Two with a Checker Trade Trophy under our belts as well. So I'm just very cautious about chucking money at the wall and seeing what sticks.
I know what you mean. And
I deliberately don't read rumours about us because where is it all coming from? Because I tend to think that 90% of these rumours you see in transfers are bollocks. So, and again, I think it is very much a case of, so-and-so's been linked to this club because of this. So for us, we were linked with Tyreek George. Why? Because he plays for Chelsea. So did Lampard. He's a legend. Therefore, he's definitely going to go on loan.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Having said that, if because another one I saw was Joel Peru on loan to us, I'd be happy with that because he's a proven championship goal scorer. Do I think it will happen? Absolutely not.
Well, he played today. He played today, didn't he?
Yeah, he came off the bench.
Yeah.
He came off the bench.
Yeah.
So,
We've got guys. I've got to jump on these comments. We've got loads of comments coming in. Lots of people really watching the show tonight. We've got one here. The Dashing 123 from America. So we're international now, boys. We're over the pond. We're with the guys in America. EFL Championship is my favorite league to watch. Absolutely fantastic. Glad that you're watching over in America. Proper football, not that American mush that you like.
Hand egg.
Yeah, whatever it might be. John welcoming the Dashing One as well in there. Bushy's on tonight as well, guys. Evening, lads. What's up with Ben's camera? Yeah, it's dropping in and out. Sometimes whatever he's working off, the camera seems to go down. It kind of works better when his camera's off and then back on. But he's on now. He's waving to everyone. Good show as always. Intro looked mint. Wonder who made that. Yeah, I wonder who it was, Bushy. I wonder who it was. And of course, Phill, a great host as always. I'm just still waiting for TalkSport or Sky to give me a shout and give me a slot on one of their shows. But, who knows what's going to happen there. John's McKenna was heavily linked to Celtic job before this new Donny they have. Ben speaks well. He will be a great addition once he sorts his camera. Absolutely, Bushy. I'm sure we'll get that all sorted. John going, what's John talking about here? What makes me laugh is first get a trophy, second nothing, and the playoff winners get a trophy. What a farce. He's talking about.
I think second place do get a trophy, but I think it's a really comically small trophy.
You do, Mark. You do.
Yeah.
You do.
From B&M or something.
When COVID, when you won it, we got a really small trophy after. So second on PG.
I was just thinking. I remember seeing Cardiff when they last got promoted to the Premier League had a really small trophy. I was like, where have you got that from? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Mad. More comments. So John wants to know, Mark, would you rather come up automatically or have more games and Wembley drama and go with the playoffs? Or go up with the playoffs, sorry. So still going up.
Is that
going up either way, but would you rather have Wembley?
No more Wembley. No more Wembley. I'm sick to death of that place.
There's your answer, John. No more Wembley. Sick and tired of that place.
Here's my issue with Wembley. I've actually, in the last, Checker Trade Trophy, playoff final for the Championship and FA Cup semi, getting a ticket, easy. Couldn't do it for League Two, but that was work related, so never mind. Getting to Wembley from Carlisle is an absolute bar, number one, and it costs a fortune. It's so bad when you lose, particularly the playoff final with Dabo's penalty. Oh, no more. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
Mark, I remember when you were at the playoff final, you sent me a video live when you were there, and I had to tell you about Tom Lockyer because you asked him if he was injured or had a heart attack. And I was like, yeah, I think he's had a heart attack, mate. So
I think we'll have to cut. I think we'll have to do a short on this one. Mark loses his head about having the opportunity to go to Wembley again.
It's mentally scarred me. It's mentally scarred me. My dad is all right with it because when we lost the playoff final, as my dog tries to chime in, when we lost the playoff final, he said, "Well, it's all right, lads, because we've never been beaten all time at Wembley." Okay, fair point. And then it happens again in the FA Cup semi, and he goes, "Well, we've never lost an FA Cup semi-final in normal time or in extra time." It's like, yeah, that doesn't really matter. So we've still lost it. So yeah, no more playoffs. If we never saw the playoffs ever again, I'd be fine with it. If we're going automatically, and my dog agrees with the sound of it.
Absolutely brilliant. We're going to have a quick look at the bottom half of the table because there's a few comments coming in about the bottom half. John's put, I still think Sheffield United could go up and all that. I know Bush is backing Sheffield United to get up there. They're sitting in 16th at the minute. A few good games on the bounce. Probably some of the better teams in that bottom half of the Championship there. Coventry can have Hugo for 20 million. You want Hugo? That'd be a nice one. Sounds like Rotherham are getting rid of all their decent players, so expecting to go down this season, you've got to get rid of all your decent ones, haven't you? And Mers saying, "Oh my God, I just saw Ben. Is he like a hidden Easter egg? If you don't pay attention, you miss it." Is the elusive Ben. We'll do a proper reveal of him probably next week or something. But yes, thanks for your comments, guys, so far tonight. Loads of viewers online, which is absolutely fantastic. So keep your comments coming in for our boys to talk about. So quickly on to the bottom half of the championship. Obviously, we've spoken about Sheffield United. They're climbing up that table very, very quickly. I would say about 4 or 5 games ago, they were down in that bottom 3, and now they're up in 16th. So they're slowly climbing up. And it's not looking too clever for a couple of teams there. Blackburn have dropped down a little bit. They're not getting any wins in, really. They're starting to struggle a little bit. And then obviously Portsmouth have dropped a little bit. And there's the bottom 3 there: Norwich, Oxford, and obviously Sheffield Wednesday, who we know are going to go. What are our thoughts on that bottom half, guys?
My main thought is I don't actually know how Marty Cifuentes has still got a job.
No.
I cannot believe that Leicester City are A, in 14th, and B, they have stuck with him, because he's just not getting... That squad should be right up there this season. We would have all said it before a ball was kicked. Who's going to be going up automatically? Your Leicesters, your Ipswiches, your Southamptons would have been in the conversation. Southampton got it spectacularly wrong with Will Still and sacked him. Sheffield United got it spectacularly wrong with Ruben Sayers and they sacked him. Leicester have got it wrong with Marty Cifuentes and left him there.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I think Leicester are they still waiting on a points deduction, Mark?
Yeah, but again, it's a bit like the Manchester City one. We've no idea what's going to happen with it. The last I heard, there was going to be something said in January, but
yeah,
again, we've heard multiple times about Manchester City's. That's going to come out on top at some point in 2022, and then it's 2024, and then so you just never know. It will come at some point. There will be a punishment, whether it's a fine or points deductions, whatever it may be. We just have to wait and see. I don't think it'll make any difference for Leicester this year, because from what I've seen, they're going to be nowhere near the playoffs, but they're also no danger of going down. No danger what?
No, not at all.
I mean, you look at that bottom half, and then Wednesday are gone. I think Oxford will go, but then I look at Norwich, and I think Norwich would probably still have enough.
Yeah.
However, by the looks of it, the second column, Phil, is that games played.
Yeah, games played, mate. So obviously Portsmouth have still got 2 on Norwich.
2 on Norwich, which I think is really interesting, because if Portsmouth were to, for example, were to get maybe on those 2 games, even 3 points, it's quite big. But I would say Norwich will be okay. I think it will be Pompey, Oxford, and Wednesday that goes down. Personally,
on that one.
What do you think, Ben? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Wednesday have gone. I think it will be Oxford and Portsmouth to go down, because I can see Norwich dropping up. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence a little bit. I mean, I've not really been that impressed by Charlton, and I think Charlton, and again, we're in January, transfer window, yada yada yada. It can all change, but I don't know. I've there's something about Portsmouth. I think they'll survive. I think they're going to push on. I just think Charlton could lose some points quite quickly, and I think they could end up dropping and being in the Portsmouth position as it is, and possibly falling short come the end of the season. I've not been impressed with them. Of all the Championship teams this season, I've just not been impressed at all with Charlton.
Phil, even as much as I can't stand him, right? Nathan Jones will what he will do is he will go to basics, and he will grind out draws and 1-0 wins to make sure they stay up. and then make sure the camera's on him so he celebrates when they stay up, right? I hate him.
Yeah.
As a football manager, I'm sure he's a very nice bloke, all that, but I can't see Charlton going down personally.
No, I can't either. No, I really can't. But it will be, for me, it will be Wednesday, Oxford and Portsmouth. Although I do really worry about Blackburn because I did watch the New Year's Day game against Wrexham and they were dreadful, utterly dreadful. And again, Valerian Ismail doesn't seem particularly happy with what to work with at Blackburn. It's still Venky's in charge, and they just seem content to bob along. But you can only bob for so long. You will eventually sink.
100%.
Interesting one. Championship is always an interesting league and a very tight one. So we're going to whiz on to the next league, which is League One. Obviously, we don't really need to speak to Tom or Ben at the minute because their team isn't in that top half really. I know they're.
So I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to nip to the loo.
Ben's reappeared all of a sudden. You know. Tom's disappeared. Oh, look at that there. Ben's appeared. Tom's disappeared. As soon as I get on to League One, look what happens. Oh, he's gone again. Look at that, Mark. Get on to League One.
I'm just off to wrestle the python.
Oh, lovely. Okay, lovely. Thanks for telling the whole world. We've currently got 78 viewers. 77 now. Someone's gone, no, I'm not listening to that muck, and logged off. So while Tom's gone to go to the toilet, let's put it nicely. So top half of League One. Look who's sitting pretty up at the top. 51 points, 3 points clear of second place. But not to be argued with because Cardiff are sat up there, 51 points. Nice little platform to go off halfway through the season. But look at them chomping at the heels. Lincoln City. Yeah. Who would have thought Lincoln City would be sat there chomping at the ankles of Cardiff?
I don't think anyone would have seen it, really. They were 11th last season where they finished. And they were nowhere near the playoffs in finishing 11th. Sometimes you can get teams finishing close in terms of points. But, yeah, it's come out of nowhere. And it's good for them.
Yeah, absolutely good for them. I mean, well, what's your views, Ben? Top half of the table. I know you're not up there, mate, but what's your thoughts, mate?
Well, Lincoln, I'm gobsmacked. How well they've done is absolutely brilliant. And also, hats up to Bradford as well. Bradford.
Yeah.
Up there. I don't know what Tom's thoughts about it, but. Yeah.
Tom's views on the Tom's view on the whole league is it's just shit. He hates every city. He's upset everybody from Bradford to Bolton to Reading. He's upset them all. And I think it's just jealousy, the fact that his team's not in that top half. Simple as. But no, hats off to Lincoln. I mean, I don't know what they've done there to turn things around. 11th last season. Sat up there in second place and chomping at the ankles of Cardiff City. Bradford a couple of points behind them. Again, it looks a little bit like the Premier League, doesn't it? With them, obviously not as good teams, but those scores, those points leads there. You've got 51, 48, 46, and then the next is 39. And there's three. The other three there, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all on 39 points. So. It's almost like them top three are running away with it. Tom, you've gone quiet.
No, I'm just looking at. God, this is painful. Right. I'm looking at that. Oh God. Cardiff. I mean,
Tom. I know. I mean, you can't deny it, though. Come on, look at that. I mean, look at the last 5 games for some of those. Cardiff sat there, nice 3 wins, a draw and a loss. Lincoln 4 wins and a draw. Bradford 3 wins, 2 losses. Then Huddersfield 3 wins, 2 draws. And even down there, Reading in 9th, 4 wins and a draw. It's madness, mate. It's madness.
It's not madness, Phil. It's utter shit. That's what it is, right?
Sorry?
You look at that, right? I mean, Cardiff, yeah, happy days, whatever. Yeah, I thought they'd win the league. And then you get the Imps. Oh, they're an awful team. It's an awful place. And then Bradford. Oh, God. Oh, no. Huddersfield, one of those wins is against us. Bolton, that only win is against us. Stockport, you've been there. It was like a bomb hit it. About 15 quid worth of damage. And then Stevenage still got plenty of games in hand. So they can get back up there. Luton, need I say more? Reading, boring. Legoland's near it. Happy days, whatever. Wickham, that's near Reading, isn't it? I think. Single Legoland from there. Mansfield, they'll be gutted because they could have been like 8th now, maybe. Yeah. Peterborough. Oh God. Yeah. Look, Cardiff are going to win the league. And then probably I'm going to put my money on.
I think Mark's dog agrees as well.
He does. I'm going to go. I'm not decided who's in second yet, but I mean, look, I think Cardiff will run away with it, personally.
Ben, what's your thoughts? Top 3?
Cardiff, Lincoln, and I think we'll go out to final day against Bradford and Huddersfield, I think.
Okay.
West Yorkshire rivals.
Yeah, it could be a good one, that one, couldn't it? It could be a really good one, that one. I've got to be super nice to them. I mean, you know, I like Bradford, and I'm in Huddersfield next week for 2 weeks, so I've kind of got to be nice, otherwise they'll lynch me when I go back if I say anything bad about them. And Lincoln's a lovely part of the world. It's not far from me. It's a beautiful city, beautiful place, and good on them. You know, the fact that they're sitting in second, I think that's fantastic. Mansfield, yeah, 11th. I felt that they were going to be a lot higher, but there's still time, boys. There's still time. Talking of time, and we need plenty of it, especially with the looks of this bottom half of this table. Where do we start? I mean, the ones that jump out at me, and I'm sorry, boys, but your team jumps out at me the most. 22nd place, the last 5 games all lost. You've got as many points as many games you've played. What is happening?
Oh.
Ben, come on, tell me what's happening at Rotherham.
I'm lost for words. We should not be down there. We should be not down there. I don't even know. I'm lost for words.
Well, why are you down there though? What is it that's what do you think is the problem with Rotherham United at the minute?
Injuries. That's injuries.
Injuries. How many have you got out at the minute? How many first team players are you out?
Not got a clue.
Tom, any idea?
About 12, I believe.
Fucking jeez. Wow.
But listen, it's still absolutely no excuse, Phil. I feel like a curse because me and Bushy went the Blackpool game when we were on our 10-game unbeaten run and we watched us get beat 3-0. And then that's how incredible is that? That's like 5-6 games ago now. Currently, even if we were to, our game got postponed today against the mighty Mansfield, right? Jesus Christ, right?
I mean, you're only 40. The thing is, you're only 40 minutes. You're only 40 minutes ground to ground. I mean, if they made that decision first thing this morning, why didn't they just say, "Well, sod it, we'll come to you"?
Well, because we've already played them, haven't we? So.
Yeah, I get it, but you know, a game's a game.
No, I'm totally with you. I think it's a travesty that games get called off for frozen pitches. I don't think that should exist. It should exist here where I live in Scotland. I believe Gretna's game got called off. Gretna's near me and Mark, and then probably a few Scottish games. I don't think that should be a factor in relatively new stadiums. However, as a caveat to that, Sheffield United's got called off. You know, arguably a Premier League team. I believe Barnsley's, was it Doncaster as well, all got called off. But do you know what? A lot of our fans were like praying for that to be called off today. And I'm like, no, don't pray for it to be called off. I think rightly it was, because the pitch was frozen, which is fair enough. But the state our fan base is in at the minute, praying for games to be called off, just tells you how far we have fallen as a club. I mean, I look around some of the teams around us. Port Vale, that's near Stoke-on-Trent, awful place. But they won. They won the other day. And, sorry, Mark.
You're creasing Mark with your awful place.
Because he just knew what was coming. I just knew what was going to happen next.
We've had all of a sudden we've had a peak in viewers as well. When we get to League One, we get a peak in viewers, especially when you're on, Tom, because I don't know what it is. I think you've got this appeal to the League One fans. I'm liking it.
I mean, look at Doncaster. Need I say more? And then us, whatever. Burton, lovely caravan site. I went there when I was younger. But, I mean, at least they've, won and drawn in the last 5. Leyton Orient, I believe, is it not the oldest club in London?
Mm. And I just want to put that, while you mentioned Leyton Orient, I just want to put it out there. I did say at the beginning of the season, and I upset a lot of Leyton Orient fans and some League One fans in general. They thought I was talking out of my rear end when I said I feel as though Leyton Orient could struggle this season and possibly go down. I got a lot of backlash from the. We were playoffs last season. We were playoffs. How can you say that? You're talking rubbish. This is just clickbait. Sorry, but where are you sat in the league at the minute? 20th. Wake yourself up. You got 3 losses on the bounce. Wake up, Leyton Orient. Listen to Uncle Phill. He'll tell you the truth. Sorry, Tom, carry on.
Playoffs in League One or League Two, for that matter, is no guarantee that you're going to be there the following year, because the turnover of players is so high. And you could argue that last season, Leyton Orient's best player was Charlie Kelman. Is he there still? No, he got sold. He's now at Charlton. So, Orient fans would probably think, oh, well, we did it once, we can do it again. Well, clearly not, because you're 20th. The table don't lie. So
no, I'm looking forward to seeing where they sit at the end of the season and approaching some of the Leyton Orient fans and asking them, are they happy? Are they happy that they're sat in whatever position they end up in come the end of the season? So I'm looking at that, and it's not all doom and gloom. And I'm gonna put a positive spin on Rotherham. You are surrounded by a lot of other teams that are also struggling. So something drastic's got to happen at Rotherham United. Absolutely. Whether that is a swap in management, whether that is a sale of the club, whatever that might be, getting in some new recruits, whatever it is, something needs to happen. It needs to happen very, 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 very quickly. Otherwise, you will end up staying down with the likes of Port Vale, which is near Stoke, and that's shit. Doncaster, say no more. Burton, big caravan site. And good old Leyton Orient, oldest club in London. I'm just...
Don't get me started on Northampton.
But do you know what? I'm going to Northampton next month, working in Northampton, so I'm going to be super nice to them. I've worked in Burton. It's a shithole. I've got to be kind of nice to Rotherham because I've got some connections to Rotherham. Doncaster, I've got a customer in Doncaster. I'll be half nice. That bit's nice. And then Port Vale, they can just suck a fart. I'll be as brutal as you, but Rotherham, it's a worry. It is a worry, boys.
Yep, 100% it is a worry. And if things don't rapidly change in this month, I'm sorry, it's going to be curtains for us, sadly.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think
Ben agrees with you there, Tom.
we'll go down to League Two, and there's no guarantees. I mean, me and Mark. Well, Mark lives in Carlisle. I live near Carlisle. Carlisle were in League One at one point, and they got relegated, and then they went straight down the next season as well. I'm not saying that Carlisle have achieved what Rotherham have achieved, because they certainly haven't. I would argue that we're the same sort of size of club, even though their stadium holds more than us. But it just shows you what can happen. You can sleepwalk into disaster, as it were. I'm not on the Sunday service going to call out any names like the ownership or the manager, but I think Rotherham fans.
What, as in Tony Stewart or Matt Hamshaw?
I'm not going to call them out tonight, Phil, but I think because the majority of Rotherham fans now are coming to the realization that there's something severely wrong with the club. So because KB Terrace has been accused of abusing people, which we haven't, I just want Rotherham United fans to understand that, listen, I think we're all on the same page now. We need drastic change from top to bottom.
Do you think, right, so how many games are left? What we're on? We're on 24. So
for us, 19.
22.
You've got 19.
22, so 22, yeah, 22.
Math. You got 22 games. Okay. So 22 games can and if things are done correctly, whether it is drastic changes with management, with the chairman, whether it is some super sub signings, can Rotherham United do it?
Yes, of course they can. And I still think they will. I think we're better than like awful places like Wigan. You've been to Wigan, it's awful, right? And, Exeter.
That one is true to be fair.
I'll go with that one.
And Blackpool is awful. It's just full of donkeys and lights. But, and Wimbledon.
I'm glad you said Tom. I'm glad you said donkeys and lights and not something else that I thought that was going to be said at that point. Then,
what was I going to say? What were you thinking, Phil?
I was thinking more of. I'm trying to think of a word that rhymes with it. Notorious for female and male stag and hen do's, but a little bit more, slaggish.
What, prostitutes?
Along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, listen, I think we've got enough. I mean, I think we will stay up, but I think certainly in the now, even if the ownership doesn't change, I think we certainly need to change the manager, because I think the players have sadly given up. They're not getting motivated. They're not getting told the right things. Yes, injuries have played a part, but Jesus Christ, every club has injuries. It is what it is, and you plan in advance for injuries. But you know what? I'm really hopeful we stay up.
We had a similar conversation about injuries on the battle off between Bushy and Birchie, Leeds United and Man United, and talking about injured players, and it doesn't matter really, because if you're such a squad and a squad, you should be able to adapt to that kind of scenario. And
that's why you have a squad, Phil. That's why you have a squad.
Exactly. So blaming injuries too much, and it's not a jump on you at all, Ben, but blaming injuries too much could be factually incorrect, I would say, and you need to be focusing on more of how the play is. And I think we've got a comment in from Just Sam, who said Rotherham United keep making the same mistakes over and over again. 12 players are out of contract and are going to be another rebuild. So he's concerned about the 12 players that are out of contract.
that is a very common thing to see in Leagues 1 and 2, where you've not got an abundance of money. You quite often see people signed on 1-year deals with maybe an option for a second year, or 2-year deals with options for a third. So it's not, I wouldn't be worried about that part in the slightest, because you could probably look at all of the clubs in that division. They've probably got a massive amount of players that are going to leave in the summer, either because A, they're on loan, or B, because they're out of contract and the decision will have to be made. Do we offer this player a new contract? Yes or no? Then does he accept it? Yes or no? So I don't worry about that aspect too much of it, because whatever happens, whether you go up, whether you go down, you're going to have a high turnover of players, because that's what happens in those two divisions.
I mean, I'm looking at some of the games that happened.
I completely agree.
Sorry, Tom, go on.
I completely agree with what Mark just said there. If we talk about rebuilds, right? But let's just say that we were having a decent season. We're in and around the playoffs. We had 3 players that were, doing bits, that were young. End of the day, we're Rotherham United, sadly. Anybody who sees quality from the league above, or even, let's say, the Premier League, if they wanted those players, they'll get them. And then, as Mark was saying, it's always a rebuild in those leagues, League 1, League 2. It's always going to be a rebuild. So this rebuild mantra that we've got at Rotherham United, where, right, we're rebuilding. Yeah, but as soon as somebody starts to shine, they're going to get sold. And then the rebuild starts again. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know. I'm with you on that, Mark. Definitely.
You're not rebuilding in the sense of we're Manchester United, we need to rebuild.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It is right. We only deal in the short term, because that's all we are financially able to do. So therefore, right, we're going to sign these players to do this. So for this month, you are going to be trying to bring in players that are going to keep you up. You can forget the playoffs; that's not happening. Then if you survive this season, you then great. The next lot of players we're bringing in the summer, they need to get us to the top half as a minimum.
Yeah.
And you'll reevaluate in January. Where are we in January 2027? Okay, we're mid-table already. Brilliant. Let's start looking at bringing the next batch of players in for the rest of the season to get us towards the playoffs. If it goes tits up this season, you go down, the players you bring in have to be, right, what players are going to get us out of this division? And you go from there.
Correct.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
Sam's just said, I wonder how many players got told that they are not staying.
Well, none of them, you would hope. Because why would you tell a player who's out of contract in 6 months, you're definitely not staying? That's just daft.
Yeah.
Everybody, you need, when you are fighting relegation, you need a bit of unity. Go, come on, all in this together. Let's work and get the club out of stuck. So no one is going to be told you're not staying in the summer. Yeah. Some players will think they're not going to stay, and hey, that's fine.
If you think you're not going to stay, you then should be asking the question of why do I think that? Am I underperforming? Do I fit in this squad? Do X, Y, and Z? So it's more of a psychological thing over anything, then, isn't it?
I think what Mark just said there is absolute common sense. However, watching Matt Hamshaw's post-match interview after the Peterborough game, I think that this is why I think he's not a manager. I think he's told people with 6 months left on the contract, you're not staying. That's what I think, which is what I could be completely wrong. That's just an opinion, not fact.
You'll never know, though. You'll never know.
Exactly.
Or rather, let me rephrase that. You'll know in about sort of 10, 15 years when players start
doing under the cosh.
Yeah, under the cosh, exactly what I was thinking of. But yeah, anyway, plenty of time. You get. I mean, you say you've got 12 players out. How long are they out for? Are they all long term? Are they all?
Sadly, our club and media representative do not give any details on much. However, here at KB Terrace Talk, we do give the details, and then they are scrutinised. I think Phill would agree with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We get the details, they get scrutinised. Simple as. So, for all of your actual information that you actually need from the club, keep your ears to the ground and listen out on KB Terrace Talk. Make sure you like, follow, share, and keep in contact with us because, we get the information. We get the know, the in know. Can't tell you how though. Right, moving on. We're going to go on to the final league, which is League Two. Now, League Two. Let's have a look at the games from today in League Two. Not many happened. So we had Milton Keynes versus Chesterfield. That went ahead. That was Milton Keynes 2, Chesterfield 2. So I would say a fair draw there in terms of that. Two very good squads there and a fair draw. Cheltenham beat Crawley at home 3-0. The Barnet Crewe game, the Cambridge Grimsby game, the Barrow and Bristol game, the Salford Shrewsbury game, the Harrogate Swindon game, the Notts County Gillingham game, the Newport Tranmere game, the Walsall Fleetwood game, the Colchester Accrington game, the Bromley Oldham game, and the Swindon Newport game were all postponed due to either a frozen pitch or unable to play on the pitch in some way, shape, or form. So lots of games missed out in League Two. But the table, I know Tom's going to voice it very, very, very shortly, but my big surprise on this is Bromley. Bromley, wow. Played 24 games, 48 points, 14 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses, 5 games on the bounce there, all won. Bromley of all players. I don't know what they're. I'm going to have to do some digging on Bromley Football Club and see what they're doing and see what's happened because until about a year ago, I would say about a year ago, I didn't know where Bromley was. And it wasn't only because I got some work down in Bromley that I actually realised where Bromley actually is. And I stopped in Bromley. I've been in Bromley for weeks. It's an okay place. There's nothing wrong with it. But you just say to yourself, these haven't got a football team. You know, you step out the tube at Bromley, you've got the high street there right in front of you. And that's about it. You then have to go outwards to actually find anything. The college is a good 10 minutes from the town centre. The football stadium's a good 10, 15 minutes out of the physical town centre. It's bizarre, but they're doing something right at Bromley. They're sitting pretty up at the top there. 2 points ahead of second place Swindon. Walsall, Jesus Christ. Salford, Milton Keynes, Cambridge. Chesterfield sat down there with Notts County in 7th and 8th. I had both of those to come up this season, so I'd like to see them climb in the second half of the season. That would be great, just to prove that they can do it, and I think they can. Milton Keynes sitting there. I know we've got a couple of pundits that are big fans and big supporters of Milton Keynes and the manager at Milton Keynes. An interesting but weird top half of League Two. What do we think, boys? What do we think?
Bromley averaging 2 points a game. That is promotion form. Not even playoffs, it's promotion. So they carry on that, they'll go up. No problem.
Yeah.
League Two's a lottery because there's the gap between National League, League Two, and League One is unbelievably close. So, and again, back to the turnover of players thing. You know, this table stays as it is, and let's say Salford go up through the playoffs, okay? So any of those remaining 8 teams in that top half, you wouldn't be remotely surprised if they were then fighting relegation the following season. Maybe Milton Keynes because of how much money they seem to have, but it's free for all in League Two. It's just a bum fight, and it's looking good. It's looking really quite competitive, and again, I like seeing that. I don't want to see teams running away with leagues. Obviously when we were flying high up to December, yeah, it was great because I'm biased. But this is wonderful. Look, that top 6, 7, maybe even top 8 are all thinking we can get automatics here. And then, Colchester, Crewe, Barnet, they're not a million miles away either. So all to play for. All to play for. That table will change a lot over the next 5 months of the season. So yeah. But fair play to Bromley. This is their second, I think it's the second ever season they've had in the Football League. They are currently top, and last season, where did Bromley finish? 11th. So not bad going, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Tom?
Have you ever been to Bromley? You just said that you have.
Yeah, I've spent a bit of time in Bromley.
Yeah. Awful place. No, I'm joking. Look, fair play to Bromley. Look, 5 wins on the spin. That's incredible. And they're in National League, as Mark was saying, a couple of years ago, I think. What's his face? What's his face, Mark? Help me.
Are we talking manager? Because I haven't got a clue.
Swindon, Holloway.
Ian
Holloway is doing a great job at Swindon. Walsall, awful place. But no, they're in third. You passed the state, the best Scot on the M6. Salford, Gary's mates, actually not doing too bad. Actually, they've won 4 of the last 5.
Yeah,
but a bloody awful place. And Milton Keynes, need I say more? Awful place. However, they've dropped off a little bit by the looks of it. They've won 2, drawn, lost, drawn. I would still fancy Mr. Warne to get that correct and make the top 3. Cambridge having a bit of a turn of form. Chelsea with their bent spire.
Twisted spire.
Twisted, whatever. No winning 3. And Notts County, indifferent. But do you know what? Fantastic Bromley. Grimsby propping up the top half. Awful place. But
Smells of fish.
Smells of fish. And then Crewe, that's near Stoke. Awful place.
You got a big beef with Stoke, you have, Tom.
Well, it's a train station place, isn't it? So no, I think fair play to any Bromley fans watching us.
Hit me up, seriously. Any Bromley fan, in fact, any fans in League Two, please hit me up because we're trying to get some more pundits on this show and some of our.
We need a League Two,
but we do need some League Two fans. So if there are any League Two fans on and you fancy coming on, Mark's relatively new. He's been with us since November. Ben, this is his first show. A few camera problems, but it is what it is. You've watched the show. You've seen the show. You can enjoy the show. Be part of the whirlwind that is KB Terrace Talk, and just enjoy it. So, yeah, feel free to drop me a line. Drop any one of us a message or even Bushy himself. And yeah, give us a shout. And if you want to come on and give your input on your League Two teams, League One teams, Championship teams, or any Premiership teams, give me a shout and we will get you rigged up and up onto the show.
Hopefully, Phill. Phill. Carlisle do the business in the National League, and then we'll have a Carlisle fan.
And that will be absolutely fantastic. Carlisle fans on. Hopefully, they'll do it in the National League. So there's the bottom half of the League Two table. Down there at the bottom is Harrogate and Newport, both sitting quite pretty there, similar points. They're only changed on goal difference there. Newport in 23rd, and Harrogate there in 24th. Closely followed by Shrewsbury and Crawley. Again, both down there on similar setups and similar points. And then we've got a little bit of a leeway between Bristol Rovers and Barrow, and then we jump in straight up into the 30s with Cheltenham, Tranmere, Gillingham, Oldham, Accrington, and Fleetwood. So some of them names I'm belling out there, Tom. I know for a fact you were going, awful place.
Harrogate's lovely.
Harrogate is lovely.
Harrogate is lovely, but the team's obviously quite shit.
Yeah.
Newport's in Wales, whatever. Shrewsbury, Wales.
Shout out for the Welsh fans that we've got on. Please, follow, and share. Ignore Tom. Wales is
Crawley,
cool.
whatever. Bristol Rovers, Steve Evans. I love Steve Evans, Big Steve. Slim Steve now. Manjaro Steve, as we'll call him, or whatever. He got a win the other day, which is good news. Barrow lived there 2 years, 3 black eyes, awful place. Cheltenham is a racecourse. Tranmere, third team in Liverpool. Gillingham, awful place. Oldham, awful place. Accrington, who are they? Fleetwood, Jamie Vardy, near Blackpool. But I mean, Harrogate, bad looks of it. As you were saying, between 18th and 19th, between the race course bit and the submarine yard at Barrow, 6-point gap. Yeah. So, it's
not looking good for League Two. It's not looking good for League Two at all.
But Harrogate's lovely. Harrogate is a lovely place.
Tom's anchoring for a house in Harrogate, so if anybody wants to give Tom a house in Harrogate, it's about the only place in the country.
If anyone wants to just give me a house, I'll live anywhere. If it means I own a house, I will live in the biggest dump. And I'd live on a landfill if it meant I could own a house.
Mark, you work for a housing association.
Yeah, we rent houses. To be fair, if I wanted to buy this current flat, I would be allowed to. We could enter negotiations, but quite frankly, I'd rather shit in my hands and clap.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. We are going to end the show on Mark shitting in his hands, hand clapping as well. I want to thank everybody for tonight's show. I want to thank everybody for messaging in, sending us your comments. Sorry if we missed out on any of your comments. They were flying in nice and early doors, which is absolutely fantastic. Keep that all coming in. I want to thank to all the viewers as well. We've had record numbers tonight for this show. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me on your Sunday night. I'm going to announce a few changes that are coming to this show. So the show is going to slightly change as we move through and into 2026. One of the parts of the shows that's going to be altered slightly is the start of the show. So the starting time of the show is going to now move from 8 p.m. on the Sunday to 7 p.m. on the Sunday. There's a few tactical reasons behind that, but one of those reasons is it's fresh from the 5:30 games that happen on a Sunday. So it's fresh out of those, and we're not losing any fans that are going into the 8 o'clock show, 8 o'clock games. So if there's any games at 8 o'clock on a Sunday, so we're fresh out those 5:30 games. And also it means that if the show does go slightly over, which it has done tonight, it means then we've got a little bit more time and we're not taking up too many of our pundits' lovely Sunday evenings in preparation for their busy weeks at work. Another thing that is going to slightly change also is the format of the show. So whereas we talk about the Premier League, Championship, League One and League Two, we're not continually going to go into so much depth on the Premier League. We're going to highlight the Premier League, discuss anything that's burning within the Premier League, and then we're going to move and focus on the likes of the Championship, League One and League Two. And again, the reason behind that is we do have a Thursday night show. And the Thursday night show for KB Terrace Talk is completely devoted to the Premier League. And what I don't want to be doing is repeating a lot of things for our Premier League fans that come on to this show and go also onto the Thursday show. So we won't be getting rid of the Premier League on Sunday, but we will be knocking it down a peg or two. So they're the initial things that are going to come, and they're going to start from next week. So on that note, like I said, record numbers tonight. So thank you for watching. Thank you for messaging in. I'd like to thank my 3 pundits tonight. We've got Mark, who is our resident Coventry fan. Night, Mark. Thanks for your help today.
Thanks for having me again, and I'm sure I'll try to be a little bit more positive next time I'm on.
Yes, absolutely.
Please sign from Palace City.
We've also got our resident fan, Tom. Tom's been on tonight. Thank you for everything, Tom.
Yeah, I think we should also add, we should compare towns, in the fixtures. It's Mansfield v Rotherham. Who's the better town? And then we could do a thing like that. But anyway,
yeah, there's gonna be lots of different things happening during 2026. So
travel.
We will look at all of that.
Cheers, Phill.
And also tonight we've had our virgin, that is Ben. A few camera problems with Ben tonight, but he has great input on his Rotherham knowledge and his football knowledge in general. And we hope to get that all ironed out very, very soon. So
Cheers,
thanks
Ben.
for being on tonight, Ben.
As always, it's been a pleasure. Absolutely.
Good. Great to have you on and everything. So next week is the FA Cup. So there will be a show, but it will be tweaked slightly for a few of the midweek games that have happened, and then also the FA Cup games. So we'll do a highlight reel of the FA Cup on next Sunday's show. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I know we've gone slightly over on time. Thank you for all your help and support for KB Terrace Talk. Please don't forget that we have shows on Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. I don't believe Miller's Monday is going ahead, because it is going ahead.
It is going ahead.
Miller's Monday will be going ahead tomorrow night.
Yes.
Even though the game got postponed. So Miller's Monday will be on tonight. Tomorrow night. Thank you for that, Tom. WXXDY03 is also can't wait to jump on tomorrow's Miller's Monday. Got a lot to say. We're looking forward to hearing what you've got to say tomorrow night on Miller's Monday. Again, we've got the Thursday night show, which is the Premier League show. We've got the FPL show, which I believe is changing night, but it is still Friday at the present time. But I do believe that is changing the night. So
Phil,
on that one.
Phil, the FPL's on Tuesday. Is
it changing to Tuesday now? Yeah.
No. Just for this week. Just
for this week. Right. Okay. So just for this week, FPL is on Tuesday, and then don't forget to come back here for next Sunday's show. So from me, Phill Forrest, I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, Phil.